Here we go. What up, y'all? We are here. Hotep-ish, intelligent-ish talk, intelligent shit talk, where we balance the profound with the profane. I am your host, Dwan B, and here we got the profound and sometimes profane, but this you guys always got to know. Within the profane, there's still lessons to be learned and jewels to be dropped. It's on you to be intelligent-ish enough to pick it up. We put it on you, not the person talking, because they only can say what they say. It's on you to interpret how you interpret things and what they say. So we have a special guest, somebody who I love to talk to, somebody who always has an opinion that I value, and I know you guys value too. You guys been wanting him back. We have Dr. Randy Short on the line. How you doing today, Doctor?
A white woman, and thank you.
Speaking of white women, let's get on in it. Kamala. Where the fuck people want to call her?
Kamala. Like not in your pants, your wet dream the other day. Kamala. That's her name.
Kamala Harris.
Yes, sir. Kamala Harris.
She's now the vice presidential nominee. Talk to us, Dr. Short. What are your views on Kamala Harris being the potential vice president?
We got to say it nasty like she is.
Okay, Kamala. Say it like she is.
Yes, Kamala. Don't fix it. Kamala Harris. My views. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I want to say it right because, and everybody wants to come. You just don't want to do it in her. Okay. Why put good new come behind the old bad Willie Brown come, and every Tom, Dick, and Harry in politics and contributors come? You want to keep yours. The scriptures say, "Be ye separate." Keep yours away from her. Okay, but everyone wants to come.
Everyone wants to come, Miss Harris.
Kamala.
So talk to me a little bit, Dr. Short, about. I want to set it up for the people listening in. We're gonna be here. We're gonna be talking about Kamala Harris along with a few other things tonight. But the reason why I'm bringing her up, I want to give a little background on me. I'm someone who I first became aware of Kamala Harris in 2008 when she was running for AG, Assistant Attorney General here in California. She came down to LA and she had a fundraiser, and I donated to it thinking, okay, shit, we about to have a state. We about to have a state black attorney general. I got to put some money behind that. But you know how it is when you put your money behind something, you follow it a little closer than when you don't put your money behind something. And after I put my money behind her in 2008, I had buyer's remorse like a motherfucker. Because basically all she did was throw black people in jail.
Mm-hmm. Sure did.
Because people don't understand. Kamala Harris has thrown more people in prison in California than any attorney general in California state history. And California is known for locking people up. And she did it better than anybody else. And on top of that, when she ran, I'm thinking she black. Then I go and check the newspaper. She basically won her seat running as the first Indian American California Attorney General. Dr. Short, you and I, we've talked about these people that come in playing ethnic hopscotch. What are your feelings on her being Indian/black?
They don't play hopscotch. They play invasion of the body snatchers. I get into your body and make you a slave. Okay, hopscotch means that you go back to what you originally are, and hopscotch doesn't hurt. Body snatchers, you destroy someone's identity, put your stuff in, and mess them up. Kamala Harris is a living pathogen in the black body politic, and we need to take some Metamucil or something to crap her out of us while we have a chance. She's like a big dick-sucking tapeworm. I mean, and they taking more than they give. Believe that. She's just a reckless, vicious, hateful, nasty, dirty, Brahminical dig it, and she don't mind. And see, black men are so weak. They figure if someone sucks their dick, they friends. If that's true, how come fags kill each other?
At a higher rate than normal people.
That's correct. And black gays die all the time. Trans end up burnt up in cars and stuff. So getting a blowjob and giving them doesn't make you a nice person. It might make you a manipulative person or a person that basically, pardon my language, it's called power fucking. They fuck for power, not for love or compassion. And some of the most dangerous people are trying to get power through power fucking. And Kamala is the greatest living example in America, next to Madonna and maybe Barack Obama and Bill Clinton and Jeffrey. I mean, we have a lot of people who are power fucking Cardi B, but just power fucking. But I think she's about the best out there, and she didn't have as much to work with as others. So Kamala is the consummate realpolitik power fucker of all times. I mean, we're going to send her a special certificate, and maybe down in where are the prostitutes hang out in L.A. I don't know. Where are they? You know, where the hookers hang out?
They don't. Kamala Harris, the prostitutes in L.A. They on Figueroa. They over there, but she ain't a Figueroa prostitute. She's Santa Monica Boulevard.
Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah, she's Sunset.
Okay, yes,
she's Sunset.
I was thinking about Donna Summer's song, Sunset People, right? Okay, we need to give her the biggest political trick star. And we're going to have like Power Fuck Walk of Fame. She'll have the first star down there. Hey. And we'll get Willie Brown to pay for it.
for those who don't know what Dr. Short is talking about, Kamala Harris, it came out in the paper. This isn't no gossip. This was in the paper a couple years ago that Sweet Dick Willie, former mayor of San Francisco, Willie Brown, was like, yeah, I hit it. What the fuck y'all gonna do about it?
Mm-hmm. Well, let me give you my Sweet Dick Willie secondhand thing, what he shared with one of my mentees, that when he wanted to get legislation passed at City Hall, Kamala would go down and blow more domes. I'm telling you. Than a steam cleaner, man. She was like, no, I mean, she should do it. Anesthesiology in the hospital, give people blowjobs. So they can get an operation. Just putting all the old white men with bald heads out. And if you look at it, I can believe it. When you look at the jaw, like she can hold her jaw open and it not hurt. When she's talking to people, her mouth hangs open. And when you could do that and not have to bring it back up to relax it, and she has very strong, developed muscles in her jaw. She has like great blowjob jaws. She could probably make King Kong have a migraine headache if she got on him and make him fall down. She got the Kung Fu grip in her mouth, man. You know that thing that the ball you put in your mouth, the jazz just the jaws aside. Kamala doesn't need one. So look, Kamala's a hoe, y'all, and Kamala's a political, racist, grammatical hoe. And I don't know. She's probably, she's probably in the abortion Hall of Fame too. I don't know how many Willie Brown babies she probably had killed. Probably killed all of them, and probably all the other little black men that just want to be with the lightest skinned woman with long hair. And she probably carries around air sickness bags so she can barf out body fluid throughout the day. People probably thought she ate too much tapioca.
Hey,
sorry. We're just going in on her.
And here, this is something I want to bring out about Kamala. There was people were asking.
I like the way you're saying it now.
Kamala, that's how you say it.
Kamala.
Kamala. This came out. Someone asked Monique Presley last year. Monique Presley was Bill Cosby and R. Kelly's former attorney. Wonder why both them niggas is in jail. Well, anyway, someone asked her, "What do you think about the fact that Kamala used her sexual prowess to get ahead in what she did, and it wasn't necessarily her skill?"
She didn't get ahead. She got a lot of head. And like Spike Lee's first movie, We Do Heads, she should name that movie. That should be her. When she writes her biography, I Do Head.
I do head.
Yes.
But basically, they was basically trying to give excuses for her using sex to get ahead. And my thing is this, ladies, women always talk about, we shouldn't have to use our bodies to get ahead. And I agree, they shouldn't have to.
A lot of women like using their bodies the same way folk prefer the escalators and elevators to taking the stairs. Women like shortcuts too. But it's a damn lie. All women want to work hard. I mean, you could get that shit done twice as fast on your back and get 4 or 5 more orgasms than the dude who gets one who passes out. Shit, that's a hell of a move. I'm gonna just tell you, the first lemonade stand was the vagina, and you don't even need a whole table, just 2 feet. So no, I don't. There are a lot. I've seen it my whole life. There's a type of woman who loves using pussy to get further than using her brain. I've seen very smart, bright women denied stuff, quality women denied stuff, and the tramp-ass women who absolutely think it's funny that they have no problem popping their pussy for, the post, the mailman, the Amazon delivery man, the water heater man, the light bill man, the water reader man. I'm serious, Roto-Rooter. They can pop it for every occasion. For them, it's like, it's like breathing. It's like farting to have sex with men to get what they want. And they have no problem. They're completely disengaged from it. It's not a serious thing for them. And I'm not saying this is a huge number of women, but it is many. And I'm not many, meaning like maybe 5-10%. When you've worked in jobs, you've seen the ladies get stuff, get the promotions, or should I say the homotions.
The homotions.
And yes, and they get raises after they gave a person a raise in their drawers. It does too happen. It happens quite a bit, and it's to their advantage, even though it collateralizes and commodifies women as sex workers, even when they're professionals in high-ranking places where their academic and professional training should count. The thing that makes the crooked way straight for women in the career path many times is popping that pussy. And I'm not saying that that's right. I'm not advocating for it, but it's something I've observed. Oprah did it. Shoot, Diana Ross did it.
Oprah. Hey, question.
And I feel sorry if Joy Reid did it. Can you imagine? I bet you do first you have to take the wig off.
I'm telling you right now, Joy Reid got her job by not offering that pussy. Because I can't see anybody going after giving Joy Reid anything after she got naked. I just can't see it.
Okay, well, yeah, probably. I'm trying to think. Well, Don Lemon got it. He wants to be a woman.
I think Don Lemon be getting them dicks faster than Kamala Harris.
Yeah, Lord. They could probably take on people. They could be like a dynamic duo of blowjobs, Fragman. And instead of people being hit, they'd be passing out from being blown off. No, busting that Fragman. And she would be fag girl. Because I think Kamala swings both ways like Tarzan. Come on. You can't be so desensitized and impersonal about all the people you screwed as a woman and not have a little bit of lesbian in you. You'd have to have some kind of hate for men to keep moving from one to the other. Pop. I'm serious. You're moving around like a roulette wheel in Las Vegas. You're not the average straight woman. Let's put it to you like that. A balanced woman wants a stable, long-term relationship, although she might be greedy for stiffy and get mad that you're 6 when she was counting on an 8.5 to a 9, And look at that little bald-headed dude that she married. Now, That love. I don't believe that. That's some convenience here.
That's a beard like a motherfucker.
So yes, I think Kamala. She's much more grass than the sheep of New Zealand. Okay, she's done more carpet than Oric and Hoover put together. And of course, what's that song from that thing, The Sound of Music? And they say climb every mountain. Hers would be grind every mountain. Yes, we said it tonight. We talked to Kamala. Let's do this. I'm gonna take over for a second. Kamala went to Howard the same time as me. I should have graduated the same year as her if I hadn't transferred out and come back. Kamala was on the line of the AKAs, or the gay KAs, as some of us called them. And it was rumored, and on straight good account, the AKAs for being online required snorting cocaine, learning how to do blowjobs. She certainly excelled in that. Maybe she was taught. Maybe that's something they should teach in school. Anyway, and then a lot of the young women on the AKA line, they would snort cocaine to stay awake, but they would also go down to the dormitory building that Howard used to own called Sutton Plaza. And a lot of times they would stand around and try to see what it's like to test courage and all that. And they had their lines just to stand out and act like a prostitute and see if someone would ask them to screw.
For real?
For real. And how weird, just said they're going to name her as one of their leading leaders. Howard doesn't like leaders. They smashed and destroyed leaders. Howard's never recognized Stokely Carmichael or Cortland Cox or a range of other people in SNCC that did stuff, James Farmer. And Howard recognizes this fake-ass Hindu, Brahmin, racist tramp. I mean, who's basically the West Coast cocksucking champion of the last 15 years. I mean, she's the heavyweight cocksucking champion. I mean, she's sort of like Muhammad Ali. I'm the greatest, I believe her. And look at how Sleepy Joe, she probably blew him up a little bit. That's probably why his memories come back. That's why I can remember her name. He's just awful. Now, so Kamala was at Howard. I would tell everybody that Howard in the middle 80s when Kamala went, and even now, we have real problems with the Caribbean and African students and how they see Black Americans. And the head of the Caribbean Student Association, a group that I'm certain Kamala had a great regard because the Asian ones would be in there to get away from Black Americans. And the president of the CSA back in the 80s was a Caribbean named Chris Christian. And I remember going to the Caribbean Student Association and hearing this word or this combination of words for the first time. So when all you little fake Pan-Africanist bitches out there, fuck y'all, I'm going to say what I like. We're all one family. Well, we're not treated like we're one family. Yeah. Do I hate people from the islands? Absolutely not. I have a great grandfather who's Jamaican. So I don't have this, I just like Black people from Africa, the Caribbean, or Brazil, and nothing like that. But I resent people coming to America and shitting and oppressing and hating and doing all this bullshit to us off our backs. And if you're so much greater, then fix up your funky little fucked up little places to make it work. And since there's no racism, don't tell me about colonialism or anything that's hindering your ass where you came from, and stay the fuck there.
That's real talk. That's because to piggyback on that, Jason Warren just said it in the chat room. Singer Akon just talked about Black people should forget slavery here in America. But that goes in the line what you're talking about. We're not talking about all Caribbeans, all Africans. We talking about y'all that come over here and act like you want to teach us some shit when your own country, when you got all the diamonds, all the coffee, all the gold, and ain't got a dime to piss off.
People and Asians killing one another, right? Got shit and piss running down the street, and the rich people in that country have all their money in the banks of the people that ripped their country off, and then they have an attitude towards Black Americans. I don't give a fuck about people's feelings when it comes to that. I said it just like that. Take your ass back where you came from. I don't want to go to any other country where there are black people and disrespect them in their home country. When that motherfucker who wrote in the chat room, he's showing disrespect. You and I, if we were in someone else's country and did that shit there, I'm going to tell you, the folks would kill you, burn your ass out, run you out.
They wouldn't play that shit. You cannot go to Jamaica and talk shit about Jamaicans. They'll call you a blood clot, bumper clot, and fuck you up.
And you would be crushed. The reason that person feels the liberty to talk that shit in your chat room is because black Americans haven't demanded respect of these people here. And it's time for us to put these motherfuckers on code. So I like Trump. I like ICE. Go the fuck back where you came from. If you're not coming here to be a brother or sister, I'm not saying to carry our cross or fight our battle, but motherfucker, your job, your housing, the fact that the cops don't blow your fucking head off every time they stop you comes from our struggle. You don't bring nothing to us here. Y'all don't work with us here. I'm not saying all, but too many. And now shit's about to change. Let me tell you something. These motherfuckers here who thought that they're going to have wave after wave after wave, no, you may not. If they change this immigration shit behind COVID, motherfuckers won't even be able to come over here to visit. And I'm not saying, let me repeat this, I don't hate people in the diaspora. I love my friends all over the world. But the same way I don't disrespect anyone anywhere I travel, I never go to another country and think I'm better than the black people there that built it up. They come over here with the attitude like, I'm here because of my British education. I said, if your British education was so fucking great, why can't you fix up a teeny tiny island? Mm-hmm. Then they start making 10 times the excuses that black folks here make. It's a bullshit game, okay? And we need to shut that shit down. And they do bring stuff here. They bring drugs. Sure they do. Nigerians, Jamaicans, Haitians, Belizeans, sure they do. They bring dope and weed and shit up here. Do black Americans send dope to other countries?
No.
No, we don't. So they come up here and fucking kill us and then grin. And the minute you say, hey, look, treat me right, they have an attitude. They act just like white people. So to me, you're my color, but you're not my kind. I'm Pan-African if you are. If you're not, fuck you like anybody else. I don't like this here. And that's the way we're going to have to get something for something. If you're for me, believe me, I'm for you. If you're against me, then why the hell would I want you here? See, they count on the very thing that they say black people here don't have. They're mean, they're xenophobic, they're this. If we were that bad, your ass wouldn't come over here. Let me tell you, when black folks go from Africa to other places in the world where people don't like Africans, those motherfuckers catch hell like they ain't never seen. In Australia, they're catching hell. In New Zealand, they're catching hell. In Europe, Africans catching hell. Okay? It's a little better in Canada, but that game's going to change too. Let the numbers get big. They've already shown in Toronto, blacks are 6 times more likely to be arrested or shot and killed by cops. They're getting around to it. They had slavery up in Canada. Sure they did. In fact, a lot of the black Canadians came here to get away from the stuff up there.
Yeah.
Now, let's get back to Kamala.
Before you go, Jason Warren, I got you in the chat room. Jason, we weren't talking about you. We were talking about your comment you said about Akon. We got you, Jason. Go ahead, Randy.
Now, Akon, I want to say this. For all the shit that Akon talks about black people, my cousin Paul taught his ass how to do music. So even the fucking music that he's going to say came from Africa, it's bullshit. My cousin Paul Lancaster mentored his ass. How dare him?
And I'm glad you said that. That's the thing.
Ungrateful motherfucker.
How dare you do that?
Ungrateful motherfucker. I said it just like that. How dare them? Just stay your ass over. Get the fuck out. But I'll tell you something. Akon can get played. Akon's making money over in Africa. I hope he's paying taxes. Because if he doesn't, they'll Wesley Snipes his ass so fast. He'll be crying, be listening to Malcolm X and the Ballad of the Bullet and shit, begging for some people who are willing to stand up to the same white folks who he say ain't racist to save his ass. Okay, I'm sick of this bait and switch bullshit. Now, as I was saying, Chris Christian, had a word that they all laughed at that they used. And I want y'all to get this. The word was, or the words, Yankee niggers. Yankee niggers. Yankee niggers. I did not have a slur word for black people from anywhere else. Because in my mind, when I was brought up, we're all black, we're all in this together. And I learned, my God, they didn't say black Yankee niggas, just Yankee niggas. And for them, color doesn't really matter, and I believe it because they fuck over each other where they come from, and exclusively black and brown countries. Sure they do.
They do. And here's the thing about going back to what you said about Akon and them not being grateful. First of all, Akon, and this happens all the time, you make your money off of an art form that we created out of thin air. Black people didn't have any, they didn't say, okay, we didn't just come in and say, okay, you know what? We're going to become R&B singers so we can get out of our situation. No. We created R&B from the scratch. And you came over after we did the hard work making money on our shit after you get featured on Snoop's album and the black Americans who already have a foundation here and come up and now you're saying that we're using slavery as an excuse when you come from a country, Senegal, you trip over diamonds on the beach and you poor.
I'm using slavery as an excuse to say, fuck you, you're not one of us. Go the hell back to where you came from. I love slavery as an excuse. Jews use the Holocaust as an excuse. They have a Holocaust card. I want my Slavery Express card. Thank you and fuck you very much, sir.
Slavery Express card. Where
you came from. I'm not sorry. I don't care. I don't want to be friends with you. Go away. I don't like you. Now, how's that?
How's that? Real talk. Real talk. So, you know what I mean? So, part of the reason why, thank you guys for listening on hotepish.com. 1 second, Dr. Short. 1 second. 1 second. Thank you for listening on hotepish.com. Dwan B. Donate to Dr. Randy Short's Cash App. You see it right here on the profile. Dr. Short puts in work. He's been putting in political work. He gives us the real. You're not going to find his opinion on MSNBC or CNN. So if you want to keep this kind of content, keep people like him being vocal and speaking up, you got to put a little bit of change behind them. So the Cash App is on the screen, Dr. Randy Short. Make sure you donate to it. It's right below me. Y'all, look right here, $$ Randy Short. Look it up, donate it, because he's here giving us the truth. Now go back and finish what you were saying, my brother.
Yankee nigger.
Yankee nigger. That's what Kamala Harris people call us.
And sometimes they would just say Yankee, and that was referred to us. Basically, we were put in the same group as white people, and sometimes to add even more, put nigger on it. So it's implied when they call you Yankee, they're really saying Yankee nigger. You're not, but it's interesting. They kiss and suck the white people's ass, and they hate us because in reality they're in competition. This country has a lot because it's been built up. We built it, and they see us as rivals in our own country, and they will do anything to undermine us to get what they want for themselves, which I'm not even mad. Every other immigrant group does it. But most groups don't say, hey, I'm black, like you, give me a break. We need to cut that shit out and cut ourselves in. I again blame black fucked up leadership, fucked up church coon-ass preachers, and fucked up black intellectuals that just want to be connected to something. They don't want to be connected to their own people. That's how this shit goes on. And I'm looking at how they keep picking people like this bitch Angela Rye, people like this bitch Susan Rice, people like that bitch
John Lewis.
No. John Lewis is a domestic coon.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're talking about Sheila Jackson Lee.
Sheila Jackson Lee is a Jamaican coon. Carson from Indiana is a Jamaican coon. That punk nigga Eric Holder is a Barbadian coon.
Yep.
These people, the nigga from Black Enterprises is full of shit. All of these people that you see a lot of times that are getting all of this play are not black Americans. I'd even say there's someone in one of those religious organizations that's well known that a lot of people just think is a brother, and in reality, they are from the islands. and they all have this light skin, dark skin bullshit that they're on, and they bring this garbage to America. We already have our own. They bring another layer to it.
Go even further. You talking about World Star Hip Hop? That brother's from Haiti. When you talk about that, when we talk about Madame Noir, all these different online publications that hate black men and talk all that shit, you're dealing with people who aren't from here, or their anchor babies, and so they were raised in households with parents who've had these derogatory, negative things to say about black Americans,
and they're often sexually perverse. And so they hate the line of resistance to their garbage, which is normal black men and women. Oh yeah, I said it just like that.
Normal.
And so a lot of people come from the other countries so they can suck white ass and white dick and munch white carpet. And the opposition to that is black folks who don't like swirling and don't sign on to the LGBTQ. Yet those same people back in the country, they were back where they came from, they would be killed. No one would say, I disagree with you, okay? They'd kill you. I'm against people being harmed over sexuality. I emphasize that. But isn't it interesting that they would help tyrannize us with the sodomite agenda in our own country, and yet where they came from, their asses would be burnt at the stake or stoned to death, which I'm against. See what kind of culture we created where they could even be deviant as long as they don't bother anyone here. But they're not happy with that, to make us miserable, to pull us down. And so you'll start seeing a whole bunch of these queer intellectuals that are Caribbeans or Africans that they're putting in positions. Mm-hmm. I'm so glad that the black nation in America is going to wake up and they're going to turn on this shit. Mm-hmm. And it's not I'm not against anyone in the diaspora that comes as a brother or sister. Handle your business. As I said, don't carry my cross or fight my fight, but don't help those that oppress me. Once you cross that, you're a mercenary. I'm to fight your ass like anybody else. I got a text message from someone in WhatsApp telling me that the Houthi rebels in Yemen told the Ethiopians to get their asses out of Yemen. And they asked me about it, and I says, well, dude, when they kick them out, they're going to come here and fuck us. So I have no opinion. I mean, we don't get, we don't get, if we reach out and humanitarian, they come over and still hate us. So no, right now, we got to look out for us. It's time for us to play Hunger Games, our Hunger Game cards closer to our chest. Kamala Harris is an example of a traitorous boule coon class. And it's time for a civil war in our community where we start going after our traitors. This has been brought to us by black sellouts who are globalists. They like black people everywhere in the world but America. I experienced it at Howard, where all the African students got better grades and better treatment than black American students. They got more scholarships, more opportunities to travel. They got everything over us. And even when you were a brilliant student, you were told you weren't anything because you weren't African. You hear this from black Americans telling you this. What's this? And God, who do you go to? You're at a black school. And if you go to any institution that is for blacks and these people from other countries get entrenched, they fuck over and hurt and destroy black people, especially the competent black people they see as competition. If I told you right now, every time I applied for a position with my doctorate, there was usually a person from outside America, black, that would do things to prevent me from being hired, even when I had better credentials than the other people looking at me. It's quite amazing.
And I'm glad you said that.
And so we're being hurt. We're being hurt by these people. Fuck all this Pan-Africanism. I'm a reciprocal Pan-Africanist. If you're for me, I'm for you. If you're not for me, fuck you. And that's the way we got to be. Stop being fascinated by people. Look at how folk kill each other in Africa and the Caribbean and everywhere else. I'm not saying that the people are bad or that they're not under, but when they get here, do you hate me more than the white cop? But yet you're getting all these black scholarships or this, that, or the other. That's something for nothing. Even a hoe gets paid. Even a whore gets paid. Even a prostitute gets paid. And we black folks don't even get a mess of pottage from these people. Fuck them. And I'm going to say something to you. Kamala and them would laugh when the man would say Yankee nigger. They would cheer, or they would say Yankee, and they'd all laugh, and they would have these long conversations about how much they hated Black Americans. I sat through a couple of those. I couldn't take it anymore. I know what it's like to be in a Caribbean history class, and people complain. I was a Black American. I had no right to be in the classroom. I hadn't experienced anything like that except for from white people. I know what it's like at Howard University to be a trustee of Howard University, a student trustee, and be assaulted by Caribbean students for reaching out to them. I'm not bitter, but I'm very cognizant that people walk around with this flag in Parliament, nationalism from these little broke-ass shithole countries, as President Trump called them, who come here and don't see, let's have common cause with these Black people in America. South Africans, different. Countries where they get their asses beat by white people, we can usually get something worked out. The ones that come from these almost majority Black countries where they think they're free, they're a lot of them are really fucked up in how they deal with us. Not all, and you got to understand something. When you go to Africa, you meet the real Africans. They're wonderful people, the folks in the village. A lot of them are really good people. But the kinds of Africans and Caribbeans that come to America, they're the thieves, the chiselers, the gangsters, the liars, the crooks, the white ass niggas, the people that work for the CIA.
The professional white ass kissers.
They're the ones that come here, not the good people. The same way when you look on TV, you don't see the real Black people. You see punk ass Don Lemon with peach lip gloss on his lips so he can suck his white man off when he gets off set. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of shit that you see. We're not allowed to meet the real Black African people. They've got issues too, but these elitist folks, the African boule, that's the kind of shit that comes over here. They're the ones whose families are stealing all the money, the aid, the foreign aid money. They're the ones with the bank account in Switzerland. And yet in the city that they come from, all the kids are dying from dysentery because there's shit, piss, and blood water. Those people come here and they want to treat, and they do treat us the same damn way.
And I want to make something clear, Dr. Short, to the people listening. Here's one of my main issues with it, because I didn't see it for a long time. As a matter of fact, when I first got turned on to you a few years ago, you helped articulate a lot of things that I observed and saw, but I had never heard no one say it before. You've been on this for a long time, and your clarity is what helped turn me on in a lot of ways to what's really going on. Here's the issue. Every time you see them win, it's, oh, I'm Nigerian American, I'm Trinidadian, I'm this, I'm that. But the minute we talk about scammers, we're no longer Nigerian American, we're Black. The minute we're talking about somebody, the BPS, the Bloods, shooting somebody in LA, you're no longer Belizean, you're Black. Because let's tell the truth, in the 80s, when you're dealing with like a lot of the people that was in a lot of these blood sets here in LA, most of them cats was Belizean. And most of them came in the late 70s and the early 80s due to a war down in Belize. 60,000 Belizeans came here to LA. And they came in with a lot of that gang shit, but since they looked just like us and we accepted them, when they did their bullshit, it was Black. But when somebody became a doctor, when somebody invented some great shit, now all of a sudden they Belizean. Now all of a sudden they Panamanian. Now all of a sudden they whatever their flag is, and they on Twitter with their little bullshit ass flag talking about Jamaicans rule. But the minute somebody kills somebody, oh, something wrong with you niggas. No, y'all gotta hold them L's too. Y'all can't just hold the wins, motherfucker.
And it's correct. Here's the problem. It's 90% of that problem is Black Americans' problem. We think that we need everybody to win. And I don't agree with that. In fact, we don't need 90% of Black folks to win. And maybe 90% of Black folks are expendable. I want that not to be true. But I'm not going to beg somebody to wake up. The time for begging niggas to wake up is over. If you can't see it now, folk getting choked to death on television, real time, and people defend that person, if that's not enough for you, you're already fucking lost. I don't want you. We want the converted people that get it, who don't need to see, they don't need their own mama choke held in front of them to think. That's too damn late. When you find out you've got termite infestation, your house is already gone. So we want people. I'm looking for, and we should look for people who are morally and ethically an elite, a vanguard, of people that get it. I don't need to be sterilized to hate eugenics. So, but the black people who don't think like you and I do, Mr. Brown, think that if everybody that's not white got together, we could overcome white supremacy. That's the stupidest ass idea. I mean, you can't even get black men and black women together. Half the black women want to be black men, and a whole bunch of black men want to be black women. And the black women that are straight, about 1 in 3 of them want to swirl. And then the ones that don't want to swirl, those are the ones that are so fat that they could break one of those scooters and shit. Right. We have a lot of, you got tattoos on your eyeballs, tattoos on your labia majora, tattoos on your clitoris. I mean, so we have some, or they've got more babies than the woman in the shoe. Okay. So a lot of the sisters are not very desirable, or like I said, they swirl. And 1 in 3 of them was whites, and they love the Mexicans. They like everybody, or they're so macho and hard-headed. It's like dealing with the dude with the vagina, and you probably don't get much of that. We don't agree amongst ourselves. So how are we gonna get how are you gonna get somebody in Australia and somebody in the Philippines to agree with you? You're weak. White folks in America go against white people everywhere else in the world over what they want.
Real talk.
When are we gonna get on what we want and let nobody get in the way of it? So our weakness of inviting everybody in, well, we need gay allies, and we need trans allies, we need bestiality allies, we need pedophile allies, we need necrophiliac allies, we need caprophagus, or should I say shit-eating allies. So we need Lucifers, all of that. It says that we're so weak we can't handle nothing ourselves. So we try to cling to these people, and they're laughing at us like, ha, 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 ha. Yeah, I'm an African-American. They can't wait to go back home if shit got rough. Okay? It takes a generation or two for their kids to get their asses beat or realize that their parents are fucking assholes. Damn it, Mom, y'all are so stupid. About the 3rd generation, those folks end up becoming at least Americanized. The most resistant to Americanization, again, are the certain cultures, Ethiopians, Jamaicans. They're so proud they can never acknowledge, hey, look, you're going to be in America. Your family's going to be here 3-4 generations. How long are you going to sit down and pretend that your identity is somewhere else? But they try it, and that's okay.
And look at this. They don't know how good they got it, because when you look at the European,
they know how good they got it. They know how good they got it. That's why they're willing to stab you in the back, rape your mama, cut your throat over nothing. Call you brother, sister, and destroy you. They know how good it is off your back. They're very clear about this. Let me just stop you. I have a very good friend named Patrice Buganda that lives in Dar es Salaam right now. 20 years ago, she and I had a conversation, and I was trying to talk to someone about stuff I saw, and I said, these people here, Black Americans, are going to eventually, this honeymoon will end. And I thought she was going to be defensive and tell me she didn't know what I was talking about. But instead, Patrice Buganda turned out to be a very decent sister. Patricia said, Randy, I know you're right. She says, do you know that we have conversations, and I've been around and listened to foreigners laugh, Black foreigners, about how rude, how cruel, stuff that they do to specifically hurt Black Americans. And it's a big joke that you can come here and shit on Black Americans, and they won't even do anything about it because they're too busy looking at the color of their skin. And she says, we're ruining a good thing here. This is going to end, and we're not going to be able to benefit from America because of how we've treated people who've actually received us. For all the flaws in Black Americans, and I've said this, every fucking fake-ass foreigner who doesn't want to believe it, Go to Africa or any other place and see how they treat foreigners. Within the last year or two, there was a situation where there was an argument between people from Trinidad and Jamaica, and these motherfuckers wouldn't let them off the plane. Offer some comments.
Damn.
Folks would have killed each other off. Yes. No matter what's said and done about Black Americans, do you see Black Americans killing foreigners from other countries?
Nope.
No.
And to take it even a step further.
But if I told you, in South Africa, do they kill the foreigners? Yes. And in Angola, do they kill foreigners? In Nigeria, do they kill foreigners? In Senegal and Ethiopia? Oh, yes, they do. They kill foreigners. They kill immigrants, people that come in illegally. Yes, they kill them. They enslave them. They rob them. Yes, they do. I think it's terrible. I don't want that here, but I'm saying something to you. The very people that call you and I xenophobic or you cracked an African joke, well, fuck, in comparison to what I know in South Africa, they have a word called kwe kwe. Kwe kwe. Kwe kwe is a slur word for foreigners that don't belong in South Africa. They rob you, beat you, kill you, rape you. It's absolutely acceptable. Nobody cares.
And
I'm completely
that's how they get down.
Against that.
And that's kind of what
when they come here, hold up, but when they come here, they relate to us as kwe kwe in our own country. Do you realize where they come from? When you violate someone in their home country, they're within their right to repel your ass.
Yeah.
And so, immigrant, whatever you are, illegal immigrant, you don't belong there. I'm just saying to you, I don't ever want it to get like that. But if Black Americans don't get on code to handle this, there's a generation coming up that's younger. These millennials, the generation, they're not going to sit down and talk and intellectualize like I'm doing about what this problem is. They're going to just hurt people. So for all the little Africans and other people who can't cope with what I'm saying, get a fucking clue and get a grip. I wouldn't put my hands on. I spend money and help my friends in Africa. I'm not mad at people from Africa, but I am disgusted by people who violate. The Bible says you're cursed when you return evil for good. We've been getting evil for good for a long time. And now the love is gone. And Kamala is the straw that's going to break the coon back of us pretending that everybody Black or everybody that's not white is a friend. I love it. I thought I would have to wait another 10 to 15 years to see it. But thanks to President Ofaga, we've gotten there.
We've gotten
there in a faster period of time, and it's not a minute too soon because our people are at risk of dying off.
You're right about that. And now, going back, I'm glad you said that, but going back to what I was saying earlier about as far as what they don't understand how they got it, is tying into what you're saying right there. When I say they don't understand how good they got it, it's the fact that when you look at other foreign groups, when they came to America, when you look at the Eastern Europeans, the Italians, the Germans, the Dutch, not the Dutch were here earlier, but the Italians, the Irish, the Greeks, when they came here, white folks terrorized the shit out of them. They kicked their ass for a good 60, 70 years. It wasn't until the 1940s, it wasn't until the second and third generation of them were here that they finally accepted them. They killed them. We ain't doing none of that to these African and these Caribbean immigrants coming into the United States. We are not doing what their European counterparts did to other Europeans when they came here. And
we shouldn't do it. Mm-hmm. However, we shouldn't give people control of our institutions, our churches, any of that. Okay, and there are other things that people do. There's been generations of African students that have come here, gotten sisters pregnant, and abandoned the kids. They don't ever talk about it. It never ever comes up. I'm not trying to say that there aren't brothers here who do that, but Africans, that's not even their tradition. It shows that they violate. And I've had to tell certain Africans, the way you're relating to me isn't even your custom or your culture. You're acting against your culture the way you're treating me. It's because I'm in America and I'm Black, and you know that you can try that. It's just, okay, you be like that. Watch me be like I am. And this is the other thing I want to say that's creating this confusion. When Africans talk to us, they do the same thing that white supremacists do. They talk about slaves and boats. And it's dumbass Black people's fault, again, for not recognizing that not everybody came here in a fucking boat. My ancestors that were Indians did not come here in a boat. They were here when the white people came. This is much my home as Congo is. I have the right to be wherever, and I don't need their asses for identity. What? You just learn about toilet paper and nice socks and shit the minute you get here? Fuck you. Okay? Let's just be real. We are, of the indigenous people that were black people, when America took California from the Spanish, and they were here before the Spanish came in. We were all over the world. The original people in the world were black. There were black people everywhere. I just had to go off. Some people asked me to be on some conference call with some damn Africans, and I went. And I listened to them, and they kept talking about black people. And one Nigerian man said it took him 19 years being an American to figure out he was black. And I just said, I said, you know what? I don't want to be around people this fucking dense. But they kept talking about black people, and they kept talking about slavery and boats. And they relate to us out of us being slaves, just like white people. And it is our fault for only allowing the narrow history of some people that were enslaved.
Some.
Everybody wasn't a slave in this country. What was the percentage of free black people in Delaware in 1860, Brother Dwan? Do you know?
I don't know.
Rounding the number up, 92% of the blacks in Delaware were free before the Civil War.
I did not know that. Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
And in Maryland, it was almost 50%. In D.C., it's about 80%. Most black folks were enslaved, but then again, a lot of the people that were enslaved in North Carolina, a third of the people enslaved were Indians. So this black Indian thing, or should I say the Indian African forcibly transported people, we are both. And I had to get this one Ugandan motherfucker I was working with that would constantly stab in the back for the white people. And we were alone once. And I said, why do you do this dumb stuff? I never bother you. I never bother you. I never try to hinder you getting whatever you're trying to get out of this job. And he made a comment, well, you black people use us for your identity. And I says, oh, really? You're from Uganda, where your president used to keep people's heads in the freezer, same place as this food. Do you really think that I would want you to be a foundation for my identity as a healthy person? Really? Well, y'all have a genocide every 10, 15 years, and y'all eat one another when you have fights. Why would I want you to be my foundational identity? I'd have to be a pretty depraved, base, silent person to look to you to convey a sense of decent identity to me, in case you hadn't thought of it that way, sir. And I said to him, my identity is actually more, I says, right here, we were working at West Potomac Park. Says, you're here in Potomac. Okay. Potomac means place of abundance, a place of many fish, many things, everything. That's what Potomac means, where the river that flows through Washington. It means a place of everything, a place of abundance. I says, you don't know that. I have an identity that doesn't need you. Says, my folks were free black Indians before the chained up motherfuckers arrived. I'm a mixture of both. I really don't need you for my identity. So, disabuse yourself that I'm thinking about your backward ass as being someone that I need to look up to or run after to figure out who the hell I am. I never had another problem with him. But we run after. I see niggas run after anything other than what's in America and trying, I've got to find out who I am. Oh, well, I heard they drink urine in Ethiopia, so I'm going to be drinking my own piss so I can find my African roots. I mean, it's so fucking stupid to have no dignity. I know niggas that know all about every pyramid and every mummy that had cocaine or tobacco or had his dick embalmed in Egypt, and they can't tell me who their great-grandparents are.
And they can't tell you about the pyramids here in the Americas either.
Well, but let's not even do it. Who was your great-grandfather? Most niggas are boss.
Yeah.
Or let's do even better. Your great grandfather, who was he? Where did he live? And most niggas draw a blank. Well, and they know their ancestors or their cousins by nicknames. They don't even know each other's fucking names. That's on us. That we have no sense of reverence for history or gratitude for what it is that we do have. I talked to some Pan-African scammers, and they hate everything in America. But you don't fucking live in Africa. Get back the fuck up and go. And enjoy the malaria shit. And I'm not against living in Africa. Africa's beautiful.
It is.
But taking stock, why are they willing to sell each other out and shit to come here? Did you hear about the little motherfuckers that were falling off the planes? They were grabbing onto the wheels, getting into the wheel portion.
Yeah, I heard about that, man. Yeah.
And niggas were falling out of the planes and shit, trying to get to Europe. They hate Africa that much. I know Africans that hate the shit out of Africa. Africa's only attracted to black Americans who have enough money to live better than the miserable urban majority of many black folks, where there's shit everywhere, crime everywhere, drugs, prostitution, and disease. Oh, yes, it is.
Hey, you right about
And Africa, big-ass, slum-ass cities, sure they do. Now, there's some nice cities, but you know what I'm saying is true, where everything is fucked up, and this the electrical power go out every so many hours and shit, water cut off, you can't drink the water off the tap, you can't do this. Look, Africa ain't easy. Africa is wonderful. If you've got some money, Africa's a hell of a place to be. But you damn better have that money before you get there or be connected, because it's not easy to get in Africa the way that the little tribal system and corruption and the white people and the Arabs and shit who run all the economies over there anyway. The niggas don't run nothing except for their mouths, right? It's just like here. And so I would like for people to be real about this. And I'm not knocking the great people in Africa, because there are many, but the boulets over there too. And so these boule coon, what I call them, continental coons, CCs.
The CCs.
Okay. The CCs come over here, and they're trip. And Jamaicans, and yeah, Jamaicans. These people come over here with their fucked up stuff. But if you go back and you look at Jamaica, they've given all the island and shit to the Chinese, right? And the Chinese can set up businesses and shit in Jamaica. But guess what? The Jamaican government told Jamaican people, don't come back and try to fix up stuff, because the people there would kill them, because they're haters. Major, major, major haters. And I've seen all kinds of hate and jealousy in Africa, and it comes to the Caribbean too. And you know what you learn? As fucked up as black Americans are, and we are a damn basket case, we're the most advanced black people on the face of the earth. And the other people can only, including big bloated ass Marcus Garvey, the only place in the world where they could rise to certain heights is with the help and support of black Americans. Nelson Mandela's ass would have rotted in jail with the men fucking him, or not for black people in America. That's a damn fucking fact.
And Nelson Mandela was in like a wooden cage. It wasn't even like no real lockdown facility he was in. Dr. John Henry Clark said they could have took a rowboat over there and just busted his ass out if they had any kind of courage.
Yeah, well, they didn't have any courage. And in reality, a lot of South Africans didn't know Mandela, and even deeper than that, Mandela sold out to black South Africans in the 1940s. Mandela's a traitor. I hate, and I'm friends to Mandela's family. And I love Winnie, and I like to let you know.
Well, Winnie and Nelson are two different people, huh?
Well, like Obama, it's alleged that Mandela, was like Tarzan, swung both ways. And that's why the first thing that Mandela did when he got out of jail was put gayness in the South African Constitution. The first country to make LGBTQ constitutional was the Mandela Constitution in South Africa.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so these little foreigners run this. So you got to know this shit. When you're a smart person, black, and you research them, they don't fuck with you. They don't like you.
Yeah.
A lot of them come over here, and they talk about how stupid black Americans are, and they're true. It's correct that we're stupid. The ones that they're afraid of are the ones that read or research. And so Black Americans, if they wanted to be free, have to read, have to research, have to surround themselves with people that think. I love thinking people, reading people, researching people. Teach me some shit I ain't never heard of. Thank you. God bless you. Because I know I don't know a 0.1% of anything. But if all of us put our heads together, damn, there's nothing we can't do. Now let's keep on. We gotta keep on Kamala.
We gonna get a. Thank you guys for before we go there. Like this video if you're on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Share the video. This is a new channel. We need this to get raised up in the algorithm. Share the video right now on your social media. I'm in Facebook jail, so I can't do shit. So for those of you on Facebook, share the video. Share the video. Hit the like button on YouTube and subscribe to the channel. If you don't know the YouTube channel, I'm pointing to my name below me right here. You see it on the screen, Dwan B. Type that in on YouTube or go to hotepish.com. Click on the YouTube link to subscribe to the channel. Hit Dr. Randy Short, myself, in the Cashh App. You see the Cashh Apps down here. Bless Dr. Randy Short. He gives us the information. He gives you the facts that they will not tell you on the news. So make sure you donate to this man's Cashh App. Y'all see his Cashh App right under his name on the screen. $ Dr. Randy Short. He spells Randy like you. If you know how to spell shit, if you're listening on podcasts, if you know how to spell the name Randy, if you know how to spell the word short, that's how you spell it. But put it together. Dr. Randy Short on the Cashh App. We here talking about Kamala Harris, issues between black immigrants and black Americans, and how we're going to handle that. I'm glad you said something about that. You've been talking about this and talking about Kamala Harris, because going back to what we're talking about, different groups and different types of people. People keep saying Kamala Harris is black as if that means it. First of all, as if that means anything. Obama was black, quote unquote, didn't mean shit. You know what I mean? Most of your Democratic mayors across the country are black. Keisha Bottoms in Atlanta, Lori Uglyfoot in Chicago. They kind of don't mean shit.
You mean Larry Dykefoot?
Yeah, that lady over in Chicago, she look like Papa Smurf came back from the dead.
No, she looks like she does look like that dude from Get Out crossed with Beetlejuice.
Man, I'm telling you right now, that lady over there in Chicago, Lori Lightfoot, for all my millennials out there, she look like Randy from the cartoon Recess. She is one. You know, Dr. Short. You know who Lori Lightfoot looked like? She looked like Michael Jackson at the end of the Thriller video when he turned back around and his eyes was yellow and he had the Jerry curl.
Yeah,
that's how she looked.
Have you noticed how Michelle Obama looks like Rick James without a mustache with the Jerry curl she's got?
Man, I'm telling you right now, Michelle. That's how you know it's money in the White House, because before Michelle Obama became First Lady, she had that groper chin jaw where she looked like she could scoop an ocean full of fish up in that mouth. And so we talking the shit there. Look, for people listening, I don't want to hear none of this shit about us talking about black women. No. We don't conflate these hoes with black women. They ain't black women. These are people who hate black society. So fuck them.
You know what? I will not shoot on. I will not go in on the true black woman. But pork chop feminist, it's a free fire zone. Or a pork chop feminist bitch, PCB. I mean, we just shoot at them. I mean, tell them to quit being a pork chop feminist bitch. We won't bother them. I don't bother them.
And why am I saying this to the people?
Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman was hard looking, but she was great. So we don't talk about Harriet Tubman.
She's a
real sister. But if you're a sellout broad, I may as well talk about you. You're basically Karen with melanin. Little fake ass Karen, feministic, baby killing black women, holding the race down, want to be called the queen, and you act like a king, like King Latifah. Hell, we're gonna talk about you. You should. What black women need to be preached on. This is preaching, good preaching. This is ass kicking preaching on sisters that need to be told to get their asses together. Nobody says this stuff. You have no discipline. You used to being beg for your cooch and beg for your pocketbook. and told how great you are, and some of you aren't so great. And as I said, a lot of folks, their pussy is good, but they're not good at all.
You right about that. And the reason why we talking about hey, look, Kamala Harris, this woman,
Kamala,
you're right, Kamala Harris threw black women in jail for not sending their kids to school, but she let Steve Mnuchin, the current Treasury Secretary, the person that says $600 a week is too much for Americans, he sent California into bankruptcy for his housing predatory loans. This is the dude that illegally foreclosed on over 80,000 people here in California. Kamala Harris had a chance to put him in jail, and she didn't seek charges. This is what we talking about. We talking about people who Kamala Harris in California, coon ass Obama and his Department of Justice did one thing halfway right. They told California, look, you have too many prisoners. Kamala Harris, the amount of prisoners California has is a crime against humanity. You must release some of your prisoners. You know what Kamala said? Kamala said, we're having forest fires coming up. We need the prisoners to fight these forest fires, President, so fuck you. We're going to keep these niggas in jail so we don't have to pay people $80,000 a year to fight these fires, so we can continue to pay these prisoners 50 cents an hour to fight these fires. That's who Kamala is. That's why we talking shit about this Rosie from the Jetsons looking bitch. Because that's what she is.
Oh, you know that she looks like Joe Morton off of Scandal. She does. She got no big smoker lips. We need to buy. Hey, y'all, let's get a GoFundMe and get Kamala some Topo. Her and Obama both have those black lips like they've been, like, rubbing charcoal on it, or, you know, like they've been smoking crack or something. By the way, I just sent you an article. Donald Trump is now questioning whether Kamala Harris is eligible to run for vice president. Now, I can't wait. They're on that birth certificate I sent around. Oh, I feel so proud. Now they're going to ask if she's really black. Now, watch, Trump's going to do it. They're going to ask if she's really black. I love it. I'm doing everything I can. This is so cool. Yep. If we all do this together, if everybody circulates it, do you have that birth certificate up there to send around to people? Do you need me to send it to you again?
No, I'm actually looking for it right now. I will keep talking. While you're talking, I'm looking about
You don't have to look for it. I can just send it to you. You're working too hard. I asked you if you wanted it. and oh my God, look at Kanye with Kushner. You know Kushner, the president's son-in-law. He looks like Julie Andrews from The Sound of Music. I wonder, maybe he wants to be the next Caitlyn Jenner. He looks really, really, really moist. I'm telling you, you could put his ass in the Sahara Desert. That shit would be a Garden of Eden again. I'm just telling you. I got to tell you that, man. Mm-hmm. Let me send this certificate off.
I have it right here. I'm about to airdrop it to myself, to my computer. And then when I airdrop it, okay, here it is. It says accept. Boom. Accept. Opening. Cool. Go ahead. Keep going. I'm about to put it up.
It's just so interesting, man. It's so interesting.
Because
it's so interesting. You know, Kamala hid evidence, got niggas executed. Kamala covered up pedophilia of the Archdiocese of San Francisco with the priest rape kids. Kamala covered up for the police that were involved in human trafficking, police brutality, and extrajudicial murders under the cover of law. Kamala Harris helped cover up the lynching of Gregory Johnson and other black males at San Jose State University in California. She refused to help missing people, in particular one missing young woman, Mitrice Richardson, who's
glad you brought that up.
Found up. Yes, she did this. She laughed and made fun of the family. All you black ladies, when we black men are tripping going in on women, it's because they're ridiculous. I want us to look at you as more than a vagina in your body. Well, that's what happens. We start criticizing your character. Can't have it both ways where you want to be measured by your character. Don't just talk about my behind or how I look. Well, I'm not just talking about your behind and how you look. I'm talking about the evil that's being done, the betrayal.
I have the birth certificate up on screen right now, Dr. Short.
Mm-hmm. And the mother says she's white.
And the mother, where it fills in where it said look for people who are watching. Look on the screen where it's kind of blurry what it says there, but race according to mother, Caucasian. That's what the mama say. And I want you guys to see that very, very loud and clear here. Look, I'm going to talk to you guys just from the cultural anthropology point of view. My minor is in cultural anthropology. When it comes to culture, when it comes to people in society, look, one of the most culturally insensitive things a person can do is assign someone a culture that you think they should be based off of how you say they look. As black people, we should be the most sensitive to that because we get mad when white folks do it to us. Oh, you must be this because you look like that. And what's happening is you having a whole bunch of desperate niggas assigning Kamala Harris black because she looks like your auntie. Well, look, you can't do that. Kamala herself never claimed black until she ran for national office. Even when she was just running for local California office, she claimed as Asian so she can get that San Francisco vote. This is a woman who is for all you women out there who are saying that we just hate black women. I'm just gonna say it to you like this. Most of y'all are Beyonce fans. Most of y'all grew up on Destiny's Child. What was Destiny's Child? What was one of their biggest hits? Say my name, say my name. If you really love me, you can say my name. I'm gonna give you black people. If a politician won't say your name, they don't give a fuck about you, all right? And if they only say your name to get in office, going back to Mitrice Richardson, what Dr. Short's talking about, Matrice Richardson was a woman here in Southern California who got arrested by the Malibu Sheriff Department, who ended up dead. No one knew what was going on. They launched an investigation. The police basically saying she left and we don't know what happened. They found the body. When Kamala Harris ran for Attorney General, she ran with the promise that she was going to find out what happened to Matrice Richardson. When she got the job and got the guy elected, she basically said, fuck it, nothing to see here.
She didn't just say fuck it. She told the family to go to hell when they reached out to her.
She told the family to go to hell.
I've got a family friend ready to come on and tell people. She's full of shit. She's a racist. She used us. I just sent you an article. Kamala is the descendant from white slaveholders in Jamaica. She is not a sister. Get this shit out of your heads.
She's not. And you know who Kamala is, ladies? Kamala is that chick that's smashing the boss.
She's Karen. She's dark-skinned
Karen. But who she is here's who she is on the job, ladies. For any woman who got a government job or any kind of a job, there's always that almost lily white, next to bright woman that's smashing the boss. She come to lunch with y'all. You kind of know, ladies, that she ain't really down with you like that. But she fucks with y'all every now and again. Y'all kick it. But it seems like every time y'all kick it, everything y'all said comes up again within the company somewhere. That's who Kamala Harris is. She ain't down with y'all. She only kick it long enough to tell the people who running the company who doing what so she can keep a foot on your motherfucking neck. That's all she is. She's not your sister. She don't even want to be your sister.
That's right.
I don't know if people understand that. She doesn't even want it. She wants your vote, not your sisterhood.
But you know what? Sisters don't want their own sisterhood. If she were dark-skinned and she was dark-skinned and had like hair, like Lupita, nobody would support Kamala.
No.
She's a nut. Black women have a real obsession with being white, too. It's time to deal with that. Obama was light-skinned. They liked him, too. They wouldn't have turned out for Wesley Snipes like that. We got some sickness to deal with in our house.
Yep. We got some internal sickness.
All this weave and blonde hair and shit. wouldn't be sold in our neighborhood. Sisters have gone backwards in terms of consciousness the last 30 years, and it's time for us to start beefing about it. Since I don't see enough women saying that we going to stage a gender coup, we're going to talk about stuff I don't like. Change if you want me to shut up. Damn it.
Change. And on here on screen, I'm glad you said that. I want to send a rest in peace to the real Kamala, the only Kamala Harris I acknowledge. That's James Kamala Harris, former WWE, WWF wrestler. He died this week at 70 years old. He was a heel. He's known for wrestling Hulk Hogan, and back in the 80s and the 90s. He was
and he's a cousin of my editor at Pace News.
Oh yeah?
He's the cousin, yes, of Dr. 13.
That's right.
Sure he is.
That's right, Patrick Tyson in the chat room. The Ugandan giant, James Kamala Harris. The only Kamala Harris that I recognize. And matter of fact, if you look at him here, you know what I mean? The Kamala Harris politician, she ain't too far behind this ugly motherfucker right here. So, rest in peace, James Kamala Harris. The real Kamala Harris.
And I hope he didn't blow domes.
I'm glad you talking about this, Dr. Short, because, man, it's just that going back to our culture as Black culture, we have so much to celebrate. We have so much to be proud of. It's just us as a people, we don't have a lot of pride in what we do. So we, like you said before, we allow these others to come and conflate themselves with us when we some dope people, man. Like when it comes to part of the reason why the United States is what it is because our inventions, our mind, what we created, what we brought. The reason why the United States is still on top is because of the music we create. We export, Africa exports beans and diamonds. South America exports coffee. China exports textiles. The United States exports Black music. You got that? That's how intelligent we are. We got to recognize that and stop letting these other people come and tell us who we are, man.
Right. And it's time to stand up to feminists. That's white female supremacy with some silly running dog sisters helping out. Sisters need to fight for home. Fight for your children. Fight for your people. Stop being a tramp for white women. That's ridiculous.
Stop that, man. And speaking of music, Dr. Short, I know you're a huge music fan, my man. I know you're a huge music fan. Oh man, I want to be, because we got a lot of people listening. I want to thank everybody for listening. Subscribe and share this program. Donate to Dr. Randy Short's Cash App. You see it there on the screen. I want to publicly again thank Dr. Randy Short, because I got my other show, Incense and Ashtrays, coming, where I'm interviewing a lot of famous and a lot of great artists to give you guys a story behind music. Because what's happened here in America is we Black people here are the sound of America. We've always been, but we've never really written our own story. So Incense and Ashtrays is my way of contributing to me writing our story. And Dr. Short's given me a huge help, because not only is he a political insider, not only is he someone you need to listen to when it comes to politics, he's someone who knows a lot of very influential, very important people in music. And Dr. Short's aligned me with some very great interviews. I had an interview with Dr. Bobby Rush. You guys are going to hear that one day when it gets released. He has a few other lined up. Dr. Short, talk to me a little bit about music, man. What does music play in your life?
Okay, well, what role music plays in my life is, if music, I wouldn't be around if my mother had been permitted to go off and be in the world's greatest choir, which is Wings Over Jordan. So I exist because someone's singing career was put on hold by over-religious grandparents. So my mother made it into the most important religious vocal group of the 20th century, Wings Over Jordan. I have distant relatives. If you've heard of Sweet Honey in the Rock, somehow the Reagans are related to my mother. Marvin Gaye is related to my father. We think Thelonious Monk learned some of his piano playing, I suspect, from my great grandmother, who was a major pianist in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. Jesse Norman is a distant cousin. Kathleen Battle is somehow a cousin. There's so I got some folks who do a little bit of music here and there. And the Robinsons. So we wonder, there's a huge family in Georgia of Robinsons. I have to work on that one day because there's a Ray Robinson that you know as Ray Charles. I wonder if he's one. It's a possibility. It's a possibility, definitely. So I got musicians deep in the family all around. But as for me, I'm a lyricist. For me, I'll tell you, I grew up with my father's a musician and my mother's a musician. My mother's a vocalist. My father's a keyboard player who helped establish a lot of music programs and things around D.C. But as for me, growing up in the late 60s, early 70s, it was, I think I could, for me, some of the things that were quite incredible is watching Michael Jackson at the age of 4 on the Ed Sullivan Show sing Aretha Franklin Explode in 1968 as a 3-year-old. You get where I'm coming from? Al Green. My mother knew the Hawkins singers. And do you get where I'm coming from? So there's all these things. So music, being a son of a preacher, music is a significant part of anything you do. Something that I knew from childhood, but I didn't put the pieces together. But my father established the singing group in 1956. And one of the lead singers for the group called the Faith Brothers was a man by the name of Frankie, who's Frankie Gaye, Marvin Gaye, the inspiration for the album What's Going On.
And so,
you get where I'm. This is all swirling. This is all swirling around at once.
That's all in your blood, and that's all in your blood, man. Because like when it comes to music, the reason why I transitioned to music is because, music. There is no life without music. Music is the breath of life, and the Black Americans, we really are the breath of the United States. Dr. Short or somebody, we're not going to do it today. We don't have enough time, but we're going to do another program with Dr. Short where we just talk a lot about music, and because he can tell you everything about Motown from the Rudy to the Tootie. This brother can break down all the stuff that you want to know. And the reason why, like I said, I brought it up is because...
Oh, my God. I know some of it. I don't know, but I love it. All I can tell you is this. I like music. And Black people have made some phenomenal things in music. We are so much more than what we imagine. There's so much to us that we've never, ever even tapped into. And that is why the food and the air and everything is poison. Because in order to control us, they have to suck the life. They have to quench the soul inside of us. They want what the Jews call golem, soulless slaves or zombies in Voodoo. They want to put us like that. And as long as we can sing, we can drum, we can dance, we can laugh. If you notice, you don't even have a lot of Black comedy anymore. I grew up with Richard Pryor. I grew up with Red Fox, Moms Mabley. We don't even have that. We don't even laugh. They've almost killed us, and we got to bounce back. And we have to. This is sort of why, I tell people my mission is to mix to mix Malcolm X with Richard Pryor and put a little Red Fox in it, and and talk about black politics. And to a little degree, James Baldwin, but then people say, no, I'm not trying to put no doodle in there. I'm trying to put James Baldwin's nasty rudeness. James Baldwin knew how to really piss people off. You know what? I loved that about, say, Baldwin and other people. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, being my age, damn, black people have literally gone in the opposite direction from where we, and this is what they've done with drugs, feminism, LGBTQ, bestiality, little token-ass boule coons like Obama, Maxine Waters, and all these other people, and that ugly thing that looks like a moose with the wig, Shirley Chisholm. They've really messed our people up the last 50 years. And we have to leave this prodigality of wanting to be tokenly assimilated into their community and find ourselves or perish.
I'm glad you made that point about where we come, because you come, like you said, you started this by talking about you saw Aretha explode, and now we went from Aretha to Cardi B and Meg the Male Horse.
Well,
how do you feel about how we devolved that far?
Well, we didn't devolve. First of all, she's a foreigner. She's
True.
a Dominican, and I have Dominican roots, Dominican and Haitian roots, but the people in my family were proud. I don't, I'm just disgusted, my friend. I had people in my family, like many of us do, that could pass for white. And the only instance in which I found documented where people in my family claimed to be white was in order to get property that they could not get as black. And when I go back in the census and see that my people had put down on their identification that they were black or African before, at the time of the of World War I, these people were saying black then. They're ahead of the curve, and we're talking about people that could pass, who would never want to be white. That was seen as like an abomination to call yourself white, even if you look white. So, like, the people in my family, that people married dark to they didn't want to be forcibly put in the white category. So when I see black folks who don't like themselves, it's disgusting to me, because there were people in my family that could pass that wouldn't do it, even for the privileges and the opportunity, because you have to be what you are. You can't lie. I have a cousin I want you to interview whose name is Matthew Fogg. Look him up. He's the only person to sue the U.S. Marshals and the DEA over racism. Matthew's family tried to pass, and they found out they didn't like being white. Somebody probably flicked off, tried to kill someone white because they heard nigger too many times. And they just came back and says, we're going to be black, and everybody's going to marry dark skin. I don't like. So you get where I'm coming from? We don't want to be them.
Yeah.
We hate them, but we're going to be us. And that's sort of where, on both sides of my family, people didn't want to be anything else. I don't want to be white. I don't hate white people. I don't hate whiteness if it's not attacking me. This is a problem that a lot of us hate what we are, hate what we've been told we are, and we can't appreciate. In fact, the scriptures talk about people that are ingrates, accursed. A lot of us are ungrateful for our skin, our hair, our nose, our hair texture, our big feet, our juicy booties, whatever. We don't like it. We wish it was something else. And that is the beginning of being a loser. If you go into a boxing ring admiring the person that's about to beat your ass, you're going to lose. We've been losing because we love everything but ourselves. And so back to music. I like black music when it's real. And so my grandmother and other people who were musicians, my grandmother's a musician too. Damn, forgot about that. A lot of the people, in fact, one of my cousins was the best known drag queen performer in D.C. He used to run Little Richard's ass out of D.C. Even that. Okay, and sadly he got molested a lot when he was young, but he's very talented, man. So what's his name, Sam Cooke and all of them used to run with my cousin. And so if you've heard of Whitley Phipps, the church that Whitley Phipps pastored, my cousins, I have a cousin that looks just like Tina Turner, who's a singer named Maxine. They raise money to get churches built because they sang so well. You get where I'm coming from, and I can go on and on about this whole thing about music and culture and awareness. We have to, one, be thankful to God for who we are. God made me like I am, not a racist and not a coon that doesn't appreciate themselves. And the minute we get that in our head that we're divinely made, we're good on God's standard, there's nothing else that can compare to that. Then we have a basis to hold our head up, no matter whether you have $10 in your pocket or nothing. And that sort of music conveys a sense of worth, of creativity that many people don't know. A lot of our people are losing. They've actually taught our people not to sing anymore, and now the little white punk bands are now playing black music from the 70s and 80s like it's brand new, getting rich. And our rappers who are sorry as shit, many of them need to just sit the fuck down. That's what we're sending the world. But wet ass pussy. Compare that. Let me just say to you, I can go back to the week after Martin Luther King was killed, and think of looking out on the street, 8th Street, Northeast DC, and for 5 or 6 blocks, every single person on both sides of the street has a transistor radio, and you know what they're listening to. It's Aretha. You know it's Aretha. You don't even have to ask. You would have thought Aretha Franklin was president of the United States back then for black people. You heard more about Aretha than anything else. And I want to say this about Aretha. I assure you that the CIA, FBI, and other people destroyed Aretha's career. Aretha Franklin was so powerful. She was so everywhere. Aretha was never allowed to really break out as much as she did her first 3 years because of Aretha Franklin's involvement. See, they killed Dr. King. They got rid of Fred Hampton. They couldn't afford to have some icon that black people could rally to. They gave us Jesse Jackass.
Man, and you're right about
let me
that.
Get off here.
You're right.
Let me get off here.
We gonna have
you hear me.
We're gonna have a whole nother episode dedicated to that, Dr. Short. I don't wanna keep you on all night. You guys, I want to make sure that you donate to Dr. Short's Cash App. You see it here on the bottom. Go to hotepish.com. Get your mock-up. You see my t-shirt right here? Fuller, Clark, Welsing, Van Sertima, Ben Yakinen, the Black Scholars t-shirt. Go to hotepish.com. Get yours. Hotepish, you see the t-shirt I'm rocking right now? We have these up on the website, hotepish.com. Make sure you get yours. Donate, please, to Dr. Randy Short's Cash App. We're going to do this again pretty soon. Email me, hotepish@gmail.com, if you have any subjects you think you want to talk about with us. Anything you want to say in closing, Dr. Short, that you want to get off?
Yes. Anybody on the East Coast that's near Delaware, we're having a protest to talk about the lynching, murders, the kidnapping, the torturing of blacks by the police or somebody that's doing this in a white van going around hanging and killing people on the 23rd of August, 3 p.m. in Silver Lake Park in Dover, Delaware. If you can't go or don't know anyone, at least send me an email so I can send you information on them. Just Joe Biden's son was covering up the murder of black people. I mean, if the son of this racist politician covers up for murdering black people and them being hung from trees, what do you think Joe Biden will do as president? I know y'all don't like Trump. I'm not asking you to give him a French kiss. I'm saying to you, it can get worse. And I'm saying to you that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden understand that for America's economy to turn around like they did after the Civil War, they created sharecropping and convict lease, which is black enslavement. They've got to recreate black slavery to compete with the cheap labor of the Chinese and others. So they're going to put someone in that knows how to lock up black people that will have black approval. That's why Biden and Harris can't be the president, vice president of the country. And her sexuality, her gender, indeed, damn, she's not a black woman, but she is a whore. I'm over and I'm out.
Hey, that's Dr. Randy Short, and I co-sign that statement 100%. We're dealing with two people who made political careers between Biden and Kamala. We made two people who made their careers off locking us up. And when Dr. John Henry Clark used to always say, if you don't understand your history, we're going to end up right back enslaved how we were the last time. And so we got to know the history of those people running that's trying to lead us. And know that, like I said before, black women, this is not an indictment on you. But we would love for our
Not
real
on
black
all
women to step up, and we need your help in calling out these Sheila Jackson Lees and these Mayor Lightfoots and these Kamala Harrises, because they ain't shit to y'all either. Do not compare yourself to these bed wenches. All right, we calling them out the same way we called Dr. Short on my last time he was here. We talked about John Lewis. You didn't hear men come around saying, "Oh, all men ain't like that," because men recognize that John Lewis is a bitch and he ain't got shit to do with us. Same with you, ladies. Kamala Harris ain't got shit to do with you. All right. My name is Dwan B. Visit hotepish.com. Thank you again, Randy Short. Donate to his Cash App. Donate to my Cash App. And remember this. There are no perfect messengers. Only perfect messages. For those of you who are willing to pick up game. My name is Dwan B. We out.